Hello Eurovision friends, thank you for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. Today I want to do a ranking video of the final of Eurovision 2022. A bit of a controversial edition because some people thought that number 2 or number 3 should win instead of number 1. I'm going to talk about that, but I'm also going to give my opinion on all of these songs, which you probably haven't heard before because on this channel until now I've only talked about the older editions in my history videos and 2023. And I thought the history videos go from past to present. I've done 1956 to 1969 now. So the ranking videos can go in the other direction, and at some point they're going to meet in the middle maybe. So let's get right to it. The first song I want to talk about is Romania, Hola mi bebé. When the song came out, I really loved it. It's incredibly catchy. It has this summery vibe. The Spanish lyrics help. His personality helps as well. I think the performance at Eurovision kind of hurt it a little bit because, yeah, the outfit is just a bit too much for me. And the whole dance and everything didn't really go with the feel of the song. I think something more summery as a staging would have been better, but I still love the song quite a lot. So the rules are, by the way, I have to put 5 songs in the top 5, obviously, 5 songs in the top 10, top 15, top 20, and the bottom 5. I will put them in the ranking that I find correct at the moment, and then at the end of the video, I might have to change a few because maybe I like some songs more and put more songs in the top 10 than can be in the top 10. Let's go on. Estonia, Hope. I like country songs, and this song has a pop country feel. The staging was quite good for this kind of song, I think. He's quite charismatic as well and a good singer. But, you know, the song itself could have been a bit more edgy or have some aspects that are different. It felt very middle of the road in a way. The whole chorus, verse structure as well. But I don't dislike it, so I'll put it in the top 15. Then we have Germany, Molly Harris. I, of course, have German bias because I am German, and I kind of have German taste maybe as well, even though maybe a bit less than other people. I really like this song. I thought it would do really well. Obviously, it didn't, and we came last once again. I think he has a good voice. The performance was a bit... I remember someone saying that it reminded them of their boyfriend who knew how to play 5 instruments and tried to impress everyone with that. I kind of see that too. And maybe people were like, why are you playing just one instrument? He had a looper, but that wasn't that visible on the night, I feel like. But as I said, I do like the song. I'll put it in the top 10 for now. It is kind of this middle of the road entry that Germany sends a lot, and then we're surprised that we come last because it's not a bad song, and it isn't, but it also doesn't really stand out. But to me, I did like it quite a bit. Poland, I like ballads quite a lot, but Poland seemed a bit too slick for me. There wasn't really anything that drew my attention towards the song, except his voice, of course, is very good, but it seemed a bit... Yeah, there was a distance between me and the song. I couldn't quite relate to it, connect to it. I don't really know why, but that's why I'm putting it in the top 20. Sorry, Poland. Then we have Moldova, Trenuletul. The main reason why I know how to pronounce Chișinău now, and it's just the lyrics about the relationship between Romania and Moldova are really cool and deep, actually, when you really look at them. I think the song is just so much fun, and it came in this part of the final where there were only ballads, or almost only ballads, and it was like a breath of fresh air, and that's why it did so well on the night, I think. But it also has the very traditional music elements that we didn't really have that much in the year that we had in 2022. So I think this was really needed in the final. And obviously people loved it because it came, what did it come actually? Third, I think, in the televote at least. Really good. And I mean, the 2 middle-aged guys in their suits and their instruments that everyone thought of their dad maybe, or of themselves if you're in that age group. So I really thought that this was quite genius. I'll put it in the top 10 for now. We'll see how it works out in the end. Then Sweden. This is another ballad, but here I did find something to connect with because her voice is so raw. There's a real, almost distortion, not quite distortion, but she adds so much emotion and feeling into the song, which in itself is very mainstream, very slick as well. But her performance and her very simple staging also really added to this for me. And so that's why it's in my top 5 at the moment. Yeah, and it will stay in the top 5, I'm quite sure. Then we have Sam Ryder for the United Kingdom, the rebirth of the United Kingdom at Eurovision. He obviously came second. Lots of people love this song. I love his attitude, his voice. I did like the song, but again, there was something missing for me for some reason. I don't know why. Lots of people loved it, as I said. But for me, there's just this, I mean, I think it's the song itself. It didn't really hook me in or anything like that, but I still can appreciate that it is a very good song. I'll put it in the top 15 for now. Maybe I can put it higher once we're finished with the video. Then we have Azerbaijan. This is one of these ballads where it's nice. You can see that he can sing. It's a pleasant song, but it's also very, very boring, unfortunately. And in this case, I really have to say that I wouldn't watch this performance again because it's just so uninteresting, unfortunately. So I'll put Azerbaijan in the bottom 5 for now. Czechia, amazing staging with the lights and the lights going out. She did hit the note. The song is good enough, but if you look at the final lineup, you have Britain, you have Estonia, you have Sweden, you have Germany. There are lots of pop songs like this. And so a song like Czechia also kind of gets lost in the crowd. But because the staging was so good and because it is kind of a catchy song, I'll put it in the top 15. Then we have Lithuania, Sentimentai. This is a bit like a acquired taste in a way. Like I can watch it and appreciate it for the smoothness and the coolness and the sexuality also a bit that she oozes into this performance. But it's not the kind of song that I would listen to on a daily basis, to be honest. I love that it's in Lithuanian. Very, very cool. I'll put it in the top 15 for now. Then we have Ukraine, Stefania. I love that they send something that has so many different elements, the traditional instruments and outfits, but then others have traditional outfits and do hip-hop, rap in Ukrainian. The story of the song is beautiful. It kind of fit the mood of the moment perfectly, and that's why it won in the end. I'll put it in the top 5 is maybe a bit too generous. I'll put it in the top 10 for now. It might be at the end of the top 5, but I can already see that there are some songs coming that I want to put in the top 5. So a great song, very catchy as well. I think they could have done a bit more with the staging, but in the end, I mean, they won, so they probably did everything right. Then the Netherlands, Sending Something in Dutch is very much appreciated. It's a very artistic song. Like, it feels like a pop song, but the lyrics and the performance and everything about it just oozes class also. Classiness, coziness, really, really well done. So I'll also put this in the top 10. Can you still see it? Yes. Well, the top 10 is already full, so I probably have to change some things in the end. Saudade for Portugal. It's in English, which is a choice that I would not have made. I think I would have kept the whole song in, or put the whole song in Portuguese, but at least it has the Saudade, Saudade chorus. Beautiful song, beautiful performance, and this circle of women singing with each other also was a really nice touch and a nice moment. And I kind of have to put this in the top 10 as well, so I'm already running into lots of problems. Yeah, it's a really beautiful performance. It's like the kind of thing you watch when you want to relax and just feel, relaxed, basically. Australia. This is the kind of power ballad with a giant climax that I should love, because I love these kinds of songs. But the performance is what kind of took me out of the whole experience a little bit, because taking off the mask and having this really emotional moment, exactly the same in the semifinal and in the final. It just felt not very genuine to me. It felt like a performance. And yeah, I couldn't really relate to that. So I'll put Australia in the top 20 for now. This kind of happens to me with Australian songs quite a bit, except for there are a few exceptions, but they kind of feel a bit distant and a bit too, yeah, performative in a way, I guess. Belgium. Great song. When it came out, I was so excited, and I love his voice, and it's the kind of song, the soul-y R&B vibe that I can really get with. However, the performance kind of left me a bit cold. Like, you're on the biggest show in the world, and this is the kind of outfit you can come up with. I was a bit surprised by that, but I mean, I guess he was happy with it, so that's fine. And then I'll put it quite close to the top 10, but not quite the top 10, mostly because of the performance. The song itself, it's actually in my top 10, I think. Then we have Switzerland, a sad song, a sad song, and a sad boy singing a sad song with a broken heart projected on his face. Also, a bit like Azerbaijan, not really a lot that can draw me into the song and the performance. Just a bit too boring, and I wasn't really surprised that it didn't get a lot of points from the televote. Did it get any points from the televote? I can't remember. I think it's probably got 0. So yeah, bottom 5 for me for Switzerland. Finland. Cool staging, great color scheme with the yellow and with the balloon and the Pennywise kind of beginning. The problem here is the song is okay, would probably be top 10 for me if it was performed 100%, but his voice just wasn't quite there on the night, unfortunately, so I kind of lost a bit of its appeal, and I'm filling the top 15 way too much as well. It's gonna be a bloodbath at the end. If I look like that when I'm his age, I'll be very happy, but the voice could have just been a lot better, unfortunately. Italy, if I'm talking about the voice having to be a lot better, I have to say that for Italy as well, the vocal performance wasn't on point at all. On the night, they skipped some rehearsals. I think they shouldn't have done that. Blanco did, I think. But I have to say, this song is just one of my favorites that year, and maybe in Eurovision history almost. I love that it's a conversation between two people, and you can see that in the lyrics. It has so many different elements to it, a very interesting structure. It's not doing one thing and then repeating it. It kind of goes through different stages of the song. The almost rap part of Blanco, the higher parts, the choruses. I just love this song, and the staging was good. I think they should have focused more on getting the vocals right instead of jumping around on the stage and on the piano and so on. Maybe that was a bit too much, but the whole stadium singing along to that song because they loved it so much was also a really nice touch, I really have to say. Then we have Serbia. This is a genius song. You cannot tell me that it isn't. It's about she sings that the artist has to be healthy, so it's about healthcare for artists in Serbia, which isn't really there. And if you get sick, you're on your own, basically. It also has some allusions to the pandemic that we're just getting out of. She's washing her hands on that stage. There's Latin in it. It's such a genius song and very artsy and a performance piece, really. But at the same time, it is so incredibly catchy with the clapping and the biti strava. If you've heard that once, you're going to hear it for the rest of your life. And you will remember this song and this performance. And she is just such a charismatic performer as well. The things she can do with her facial expressions, even though there isn't a lot of expression, were just amazing. And I think it was also a very interesting idea to add some of the lyrics in subtitles so people could understand the Serbian lyrics. You can hear that I really love this song, and so I'm putting it number 1 and Italy number 2 for the moment. Then we have France. I love that it's in Breton, but that's basically all I love about it. And he isn't bad to look at. But the whole performance seemed very chaotic. Like when I'm calmed by a performance like Portugal, this kind of performance gets me riled up and not in a positive way. The voices, the whole soundscape was a bit, chaotic to me, and I didn't really like it. Sorry, France, but I'll have to put you in the bottom 5, unfortunately. Armenia, Snap, and Rosalind is obviously the biggest hit from that year of Eurovision. It is still in the charts in some countries, crazy. And you might say, well, you can talk now after seeing that it is such a big success. But I have to say that I did like this song from the very beginning. And I saw that it was a really good pop song. But yeah, the performance is, I think, what sank it at Eurovision. I think this could have had a way better result. But this toilet paper thing on the walls and just too much happening also. Not really telling a story, even though it's a very elaborate staging, but you're not really telling a story. So that's a bit of a problem, I think. And I'll put Rosalind. I would have put her in the top 10, but there's no space. Let me switch some things around. Estonia is going there, so I can put Armenia up. And then what? One more. I think Lithuania also goes in the top 20 because I just wouldn't listen to that song without seeing the performance. And maybe not if it's in the context of the whole show, I'll watch it. If it isn't, then I kind of wouldn't search for it on YouTube, if that makes sense. And then maybe Netherlands at the beginning of the top 15, and then I can put Armenia up there. Still way too many in the top 10. Anyway, Spain. That one's easy. The song itself is not top 5 material, but this performance is probably the best choreography, the best staging that we've seen. Best choreography, definitely, I think, at a Eurovision Song Contest. The things she does with her dancers and the acrobatics she does, and she still manages to hit the notes, is incredible. She doesn't have the greatest voice in the world, but doing all of that and still being able to sing is an amazing feat. And I'll put her in the top 5, quite obviously. I mean, I do watch this performance from time to time because it just makes me happy to see that someone can actually do all of these things at the same time. Then we have Norway. Obviously, it's a kind of a joke entry, a novelty act, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of catchy too. I do think that the mask could have been a bit more elaborate. It kind of seemed a bit cheap in a way. The whole outfit and staging seemed a bit underwhelming. I think they could have gone with a more oomph staging for a song like that. So I'll put it in the top 15, at the beginning of the top 15, because it's a fun song and it's a catchy song, but yeah, not necessarily the greatest staging in the world. Then Iceland, if you've heard what I said about Azerbaijan and Switzerland, you might say, yeah, he's going to put Iceland in the bottom 5 too because it's so boring. You would be wrong, because this song just has a coziness to it, a relaxedness as well, and a atmospheric nature that I just love so much. I love that it's in Icelandic. It makes me feel relaxed and happy when I listen to it and see it, and that's why it's going to the top 5. Probably a bit surprising to some people, but I really, really, really love this song and performance. Greece, another ballad, another one in English, very mainstream. She has a good voice. I should be able to love and appreciate this song, but there's just something that doesn't let me connect to this song for some reason. It's very subjective, I know that, but I can't. And so I'm putting Greece in the bottom 5 for now. I amplified the whole thing a little bit so you can see it better, and you can already see that I'm covering Portugal and Finland, which tells you that I have to change some things. Let's look at the top 5. Serbia, my favorite that year, no question. Italy, kind of also my favorite, depends on the day, kind of, so second is correct. Spain, because of the performance, third is correct. Sweden, correct. Iceland, also correct. Then in the top 10, Ukraine, yes. Romania, kind of, yeah. Let's see. Germany should be in the top 10, but a bit further back. Armenia, Moldova is definitely in the top 10 because I love that performance. And Portugal, yeah, Portugal should be in the top 10. Well, let's put Germany in the top 15 because it's not the catchiest song in the world, I guess. And the other ones have aspects that are just like a bit more. Then I need one for the top 20 and one for the bottom 5. Let's get someone from the top 20 to the bottom 5, Australia. I'm sorry, but I really think when I see that performance, all I can think the whole time is it's not genuine, and that's not good for me. Let's switch up the bottom 5 a little bit. France in last place kind of makes sense. Switzerland makes sense. Azerbaijan, Greece, yes. And then Poland, Lithuania, Estonia. Let's switch that up. And now I need 2 from the top 15 to go to the top 20. Czechia and Finland. Yeah. But at the beginning. Well, maybe Estonia ahead of Czechia. Yeah, that seems like the right ranking for me. Thank you for watching. If you have some opinions about this, and I suspect that you do, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know how you would rate the 2022 final. What is your top 5? What is your bottom 5? Really interested to see your comments, and I'll be back with 2021. I'll be rating the Albanian entry as well. Lots of things coming up, and please subscribe if you don't want to miss that. And then I'll see you for my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.